morning, everybody. Oh, can you hear me okay? Yeah? I see some familiar faces. I know I haven't met everybody yet. My name is Patrick Higgins. I'm your new golf professional, and this is very new to me. So I've come from courses that haven't had as many groups. There's a lot of groups here that I'm still trying to get used to. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm still trying to figure it all out. So I've been mainly just golf, and now I'm trying to figure out the rest of it. But thank you all for coming down to the shop and coming to introduce yourselves and talk to me and introduce yourselves. So just a little bit about me. I'm from Ireland, in case you didn't know that already. I am not putting this accent on just to schmooze some people. I actually have this accent and I'm stuck with it for life, it seems like. It's rubbing off on my kids too, so that's good. Yeah, originally from Ireland, went to college back home in Ireland and moved over here in 2008. I met a girl from Macon, Georgia, who's a mix between Northwest Ohio and Macon, Georgia. So we lived in Ohio for a little bit and did not like the cold weather, so we decided to move south and get some warmer weather. Although I kind of second guessed myself this morning when I walked in here and it was absolutely freezing. I about buckled over with the cold weather, but yeah, I love it down here. I've been down here now for 12 years and just really enjoying it. Worked in Atlanta for a little bit at Ansley Golf Club, and then Setting Down Golf Club as well there in Roswell, and moved up to Dahlonega about 5 years ago. Worked at Tom's old stomping ground there at the Shasta Golf Club, and then it was time to make a move and came over here to Bentry. So I've been, when people talk to me, they're like, how did you end up here? It's like, well, let me tell you, it's a long story, but yeah, so that's basically me. I've played golf my whole life, and I've been around golf, and I'm really excited to be here and to help out in any way I can. So basically, I guess my role this morning is to just kind of talk a little bit about what has been presented to us, and I know there's been something in the past. I'm still learning, but wanted to reinforce what we're basically trying to talk about here. Let's see what I've got in the next slide. So my bio, and then so in your rules and regulations, you've got in section M9, walking on the car paths. There will be no jogging, no running on the car paths during the hours that the pro shop is open. Walkers may walk during these hours, but only with the golf shop, the golf professional's approval. These restrictions shall not apply to a golfer walking while playing golf or persons with the golfers. So basically, all we're trying to say is, and you may know this already, but when you're walking the golf course, just pay attention to what's going on. No running or jogging. Just there's so many golfers out at some times, but then there's times when there's hardly any golfers out there. So if you just call the shop ahead of time and just talk with me or Bob or whoever's in the shop, we can give you a good idea of who's on the course, where to go, you know, what holes are maybe off limits due to some construction. John Leach, is John here this morning? No? John Leach had just talked about if the course is wet and he's coming down the car path and you're walking, just step aside for him to pass by if he's got a dump truck or something that's heavy. He does not want to get out on the grass and tear up the grass. You know, out of courtesy he probably will, but if you wouldn't mind just letting him have the right of way if ever he's got heavy machinery. That's the only reason he's asked me to just, he doesn't want to tear up the grass and just kind of look after the golf course. Basically, what we're trying to say is just have common sense on the golf course. I know you all know it. I'm trying to get the golfers in line with hitting the golf ball straight, but they just won't listen to me half the time. I mean, you know, they got this curve going left and right, and I tell them, I say, why do you want to go in the trees all the time? If you're out there and you're walking, just keep an eye on the golfers. If you have some cover nearby, that's great, because I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. So we do have some waivers. They look like this. I know. We're not asking you to sign your life away, but you know, it's just basically if you're out on 15, hole number 15, it's a long way from the shop. So we're asking that you don't get into it with the golfers, and the golfers don't get into it with you. So it's both on the same side, really. We just want you to know that we're trying to cover you. Okay, there are possibilities of having an accident out there. If we know you're out there and there's nobody on the golf course, there's nobody playing, and we haven't seen you come back, then we're going to go out and check on you. Because, you know, I mean, if it's cold and it's wet and there's sleet and snow out there, you know, that's stuff we got to know about, because we don't want people just getting out there and not telling us. I always tell people I like to know who's on the golf course. I like to know what's going on the golf course, whether it's golfers or whether it's people walking. That way we can look out for your safety and make sure, because I know there's bears up here. I haven't seen any, but that's what I hear. So, I mean, that's another thing. I don't even know how to handle a bear if it came near me, so I might just yell at it or something, I guess. I don't know. um, yeah, so we're just basically asking always walk against the flow of golf backwards on the course. I mean, we kind of do the same thing when cars are driving. You know, we walk towards the car driving towards us instead of that way. You can see what's coming towards you. You can see if they might not notice you. You know, and then that way you can see them. They might not be able to see you, and then that way you can take cover if they have that errant shot that I'm trying to fix. I'll have to just charge more money, I guess. Yeah, so inform the golf shop. Golfers have the right of way, stand aside when they're hitting, pay attention. Avoid wearing earbuds, just because, again, just trying to pay attention. If you don't hear them, they don't hear you, or vice versa. And the liability waiver I have right here, I'll have that in the shop, and the maintenance vehicles as well. Yeah, don't end up like this. That's what we don't want this. This is not good. This is one of the lighter versions. My dad actually got hit in the eye one time from another golfer, so that his vision was blurred for a long, long time. So I'm not going to pronounce all of these, but this is what we have on the golf course. I'm a grass guy, so the Bermuda Bent and Zoysia grass, I've got those at home. You wouldn't like my grass as a golf professional because it's got so many different strands of grass in one area just to cover it up. But the plants, the azaleas. I mean, with the Masters coming up, so everybody loves azaleas. We'll see those popping up here soon, I'm sure. Dogwood trees, one of my favorite trees. Japanese maple, the magnolias. I don't know much about the other ones. I'm sure, Dara, you could probably educate me there on those.
Right, Tom? John wanted to make sure that we had a list of what sort of plants you could expect to see on the golf course, so appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful walk. I mean, this is probably one of the most beautiful golf courses I've come across. Just the views are spectacular, and even just coming in here today, looking out across the mountain there, it's just absolutely beautiful. So I'm sure you all appreciate that, and I certainly do for sure. There's hole number 7. That's our signature hole. Such a beautiful view there at Sharp Top. And is that little Sharp Top in the back or Sharp Top? Sharp Top, okay. That's number 10 right there. Number 17 right there. So that's just a few pictures of the golf course, and I will leave it up to the next person. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm more than happy to ask or answer your questions. I do have an open door policy, so I'm in the golf shop most times, and if I'm not giving a lesson, yes. The shop right now is 7 to 6, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that's why we ask if you call us. There's days when there's nobody in the golf course. Dog walkers. I would imagine the only thing that we can ask about dog walkers is just to pick up after. If they make a mess, pick up after. Leash rules, okay, yeah. Golf lessons. I wasn't expecting to advertise, but yes, I have golf lessons. If anybody wants to come out and improve the golf game, more than happy to help you in any way possible. I worked on Dan O'Connor there yesterday. My goodness, he was hard work yesterday. Yeah, so I have 15 minutes with anybody that wants to come down and chat and just have me analyze your golf game. Or if you want to just have a cup of coffee with me, I'm more than happy to do that too. So, yes.
As one Irishman to another, how did you get such an English name like Higgins?
I'll have to go back a few hundred years, I guess. I'll blame Oliver Cromwell for that one, I guess. Yes. Yes, if you plan on walking after 6, still give the shop a call. I mean, if you make that decision after 6 o'clock, we can't. I mean, we're not going to find out. But we would like to know if you make that decision before 6 o'clock, just because we're going to record numbers on how many people walk the golf course this year. It's great to have number. I'm a numbers guy, so when it comes to the golf shop, when it comes to the golf course, when it comes to lessons, I like to know all these numbers, and then I'm sure Tom and the board and Lake and Wildlife, you'd like to know how many people are using the golf course. I mean, I think that's something that you never know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So I think numbers speak for themselves. Yeah. Yes, I'll win it back.
Are you going to hang around a bit after the meeting? I need help with the Masters pool.
Okay, yes, that is absolutely something that's on our mind. I've got a lesson at 10:30, so I'll probably leave at about 10:20 or 10:25. But I can meet you in the golf shop if you want to come down, or if you want to talk to me here before I leave, I can certainly do that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Is that it? Is that good? Yeah. Did I do okay? Thank you. Thank you.